Yassine Willis is back to return the kick. Toe meets leather. And we're underway here in the Dome. Willis lets it fly over his head for the touchback. So we'll get our first look on the day at Kyle McCord. And he has really been, not just in terms of the numbers, Mark, but from a leadership standpoint, huge for this team.
Well, you bring in his leadership, his ability to win football games, transferring in from Ohio State, where he only lost one game last year. And he's able to distribute the ball all over the field. The one thing that we don't talk about enough is his ability to use his legs. He can pull the ball down and run, pick up first downs. They obviously won't feature that. They're going to have him dropping back and throwing downfield a lot this game.
Has LeQuint Allen in the backfield, but he looks to throw on first down. He's going for it all. Has Darell Gill out front, and he makes the catch inside of UConn territory, all the way down to the 22-yard line. 50 yards right off the bat for the Orange.
Darell Gill, the sophomore out of Texas, he's come on lately for Kyle McCord. And how about this? Let's take a shot deep down the sideline early. Test these cornerbacks from UConn. 1 for 1 for 50 yards. It's pretty good efficiency to start the game for Kyle McCord.
Off to a good start, now at the 22. McCord will look to throw to his tight end. Gadsden into the end zone. Touchdown, Orange. Okay, Mark.
All right.
That was a good start for the Orange.
Well, last week, Syracuse came out against Cal, and they lined up in big people and wanted to establish the run early. Today, they obviously came out. They said, look, we got matchup, or UConn has matchup issues on the outside. Let's take advantage. They did early.
Jackson Kennedy for the PAT. It's good. First opening drive touchdown since the UNLV game back on October 4th for Syracuse, and they did it in lightning precision and quickness here, just 50 seconds into the game.
Okay, so look, last week they came out in 13 personnel, 1, 2, 3 tight ends. They do it again today, but they split out Oronde Gadsden and work him outside on a cornerback. Look at the cushion they're giving because of that size. Little double move, and Kyle McCord just goes up top. You know, this is how Fran Brown, this is how Jeff Nixon, the offensive coordinator, want to conduct this game. They want to switch up personnel, give variations. 13 personnel, UConn comes out in their big people. Guess what? Oronde Gadsden is just as good a receiver as he is an inline blocker, maybe even better receiver. With that height advantage at 6'5", 240 pounds, let's throw it up to Gadsden and see what he can do.
Mel Brown will just watch it sail over his head, and we'll get our first look at this UConn offense and our first look at who Coach Moore is going to send out there as his starting quarterback. Looks like it's going to be number 2, Joe Fagnano, who was a starter at the beginning of last year, then got hurt a couple of games in, and this year was in a quarterback battle with the transfer Nick Evers from Wisconsin. Evers won it, but he's been banged up a lot, so Fagnano's got a lot of opportunity this year. Yeah,
Fagnano came from Maine, where he had a couple years starting at Maine. Nick Charlton, the head coach at Maine last year, was the offensive coordinator at UConn. He came with him, and after an injury to Evers last week, Fagnano came in and led them back to victory.
Hand off straight up the middle for a couple of yards. Looks like Cam Edwards. Or check that, Darrell Robinson.
And Fagnano's more of the drop back, pocket passing quarterback, where Nick Evers was more of the dual threat guy. But this is an offense that loves running the football. They're going to use that three-headed monster at running back early and often in this game.
Now Fagnano to throw. Quickly out of the flat, couple of yards that time for TJ Sheffield. This entire receiving corps for UConn transferred in. Sheffield in from Purdue. They got Skylar Bell, who transferred in from Wisconsin. Josiah Gathings, who transferred in from Akron. It's a whole new look on the outside for UConn to start the year.
And that's something that Jim Mora obviously targeted as an issue. They wanted to get more playmakers at the wide receiver position, and they did.
One of those wideouts, Skylar Bell in the backfield with Fagnano on 3rd down. Now he's in motion. Empty backfield for Fagnano. Syracuse brings 5. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. That looked like Justin Barron, who may have gotten a piece of it. Murad Watson, the true freshman, with the tip on the line of scrimmage.
And how about this? Justin Barron transitioned to linebacker from safety. He is covering the '1 target on UConn's team. Just a little inside slant move. Does a great job on the coverage. It gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage, but impressive play by the 6'5", 230-pound linebacker staying with Skylar Bell.
UConn a 3-and-out, forced to punt. Trevor Pena, the dynamic receiver and return man, is going to catch that as 23, makes one man miss. Finally swallowed up at the 30, and that's where Syracuse will start their second possession of the day. Up 7-0 here early in the Dome.
Court first play of the drive just goes deep down the sideline to Darell Gill Jr. for the monster game, and then they come out in a big tight end package, but get Oronde Gadsden on the outside. And Kyle McCord, he's so good at so many things. His accuracy with the football is superb. His ability to lead and decipher what the defense is giving him is superb. But maybe his best quality is his ability to throw the deep ball, and he hit those guys right in stride. What a dynamic start for this Syracuse offense.
And he goes under center to start this drive. Gives it to LeQuint Allen. Room up the middle. Picks up about 10. Now move the sticks. Malcolm Bell on the tackle for UConn, but every play so far that Syracuse has run has been a big chunk play.
And that time they come out again, 13 personnel, 3 tight ends on the field. That is not what you expect to see from Syracuse. But that's what they started to get in last time out versus Cal, and it really gave Cal issues. And they obviously got the big pass play off it, now the big run. Keeping 2 tight ends on the field now in 12 personnel.
Again, the give to LeQuint. Picks up maybe a yard this time. Langston Hardy making the stop. His linebacker position for UConn. LeQuint Allen is a dynamic running back. One of the best pass catching, probably the best pass catching running back in the country. But he's deceptive in terms, he's not like your typical 3rd down back. He can run hard.
I mean, he does run hard. It's like every time he touches the ball, he runs angry.
But you can split him out like he is right now at the bottom of your screen and use him as a wide receiver. McCord looking his way, shoots it out to him. He's got one man to beat, can't do it. Tackle made by number 21, Lee Millette. So a good play by Millette because he was out there on an island. They'll bring up the first 3rd down of the game for the Syracuse Orange.
Trevor Pena has been their star receiver in this type of situation. Number 2 towards the top of the screen. He's been big for them, and Syracuse right now getting their personnel squared away, bringing another tight end, Max Mang, usually in that blocking position.
Yeah, the big senior, the German, recognized before the game on senior day. McCord to throw over the middle, almost picked off and then caught. Meeks with the catch after it was initially deflected by Millette. And the transfer from Georgia, also recognized on senior day earlier, hauls it in for a 20-yard gain.
I mean, how does he catch this? Phenomenal drop by the defender, working around the umpire and tips the football. You probably should have had an interception here, but Jackson Meeks, he's just had spectacular catches all year. That was great concentration.
Syracuse converts on 3rd down. Quickly out to Meeks again. Makes one man miss. Inside the 30, inside the 20, cuts it back to the 15. Malachi McLean from his dog position had to make the stop, and Syracuse on the move again.
And UConn's trying to figure out how to stop this offense. I mean, they sent pressure, they dropped back in coverage, they had simulated pressure where they dropped out of it, and that almost interception by Lee Millette. I mean, you're not going to get that many opportunities to get your hands on the football. See defensive coordinator Matt Brock there. You know, it's just, this is a explosive offense. Now they're lining up in 14 personnel with a tight end in the backfield.
And a former quarterback, Villari, is going to take the Wildcat snap. Almost collared around the neck for a loss, but he was able to fall forward for about 3. Villari was initially recruited to Michigan as a quarterback before transferring to Syracuse. Became a tight end, although had a lot of Wildcat last year. Again on this play.
And there's Villari, tight end, another tight end here, another tight end here, another tight end here, an extra offensive lineman here. I mean, that is big boy football. That is smash mouth Northeast football.
On a day when Syracuse is honoring their old coach, Dick McPherson. I'm sure he's smiling at that from up above. LeQuint Allen dancing his way in the center, still pushing forward. To your point, Mark, he'll get you that extra couple of yards even after contact. Jade McDonald in on the tackle. Will bring up 3rd and short.
So much is made of Kyle McCord this year, and it just, if LeQuint Allen hadn't stayed, this offense would have been completely different. LeQuint Allen, you know, his selflessness too on this team, you know, he could easily be a 1,000-yard running back, you know, every single year. He has that type of skill set. Already almost 800 yards in this season, but he has taken a back seat to the pass-heavy game, and he's just adapted to fit this offense well.
Now Pena in motion to the bottom of your screen. UConn bringing some pressure. It's picked up. Pena's wide open for the score. Flags down. Let's check the marker. Several flags down on the carpet. This may be coming back, and it will.
Offensive pass interference, number 7. 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, it was Meeks on the outside. They're running a switch route on the outside, like a slant flat. And Meeks just basically goes and blocks. You see him coming here. He's going to come in and just basically block the defender. And, you know, he tries to get around it, but I think it was the extra stutter step that went at the defender that
you just have to stand
call.
there, don't you?
You just got to stand there, or just like run the route. And that's a big penalty. Bring up 3rd down and long.
It requires some acting.
It does.
You can't go down like you're blocking. You got to either stand there, throw your arms to your side. He's in my way. I'm trying to run my route. 3rd and long. McCord to throw. He's got all kinds of time. Now he's going to step up and run. And he doesn't have enough room to get the 1st down, but he gets a chunk of yards back. And Donovan Branch was there to make sure he didn't get to the stick. Syracuse will attempt the field goal.
Field goal situation has been up and down for Syracuse this year. They finally landed on Jackson Kennedy. He's been good for them. Hasn't missed a field goal so far, but he was not the starting field goal kicker to start this season.
36 yards on the attempt. And he pushes it wide right. Little momentum for UConn. With the assistance of the penalty in the red zone, keeping Syracuse scoreless on that drive. Orange still leads 7-0. Wax back into the fold after missing 5 games to injury this year.
Yeah, their captain at that linebacker position, he's been really good for a long time for Syracuse. In that 2nd game of the season, he gets out with an injury, and it's very interesting talking to Fran Brown about his comeback. Fran Brown had a cameraman follow Marlowe Wax around campus all day long, to classes, to treatments. He had to wear the uniform of the day out on the practice field, even when he was around on the scooter, because he wanted Marlowe Wax to know, look, you are not separated from the team during this time. You are still our leader and a part of the team. And he has come back with a vengeance now that he's back on the field.
Documenting the comeback as Mel Brown is stopped by Deuce Chestnut for no gain. Coley down in the field. What's going on?
Well, guys, one of the Syracuse seniors who we saw honored at the start of the day was linebacker Marlowe Wax, who you're just talking about, Mark. People around the program here, they just rave about the impact that he's had on his time here. So I asked him what he hoped his legacy at Syracuse will be, and he said that he prays that he'll long be viewed as a guy who, quote, worked hard and cared about the people around him. He said that he loves his time here, and he is going to be back. He calls this place home.
Empty backfield for Fagnano. Skips that one to the feet of Josiah Gathings. just like that, it's another 3rd down and long for this UConn offense. They got to keep their defense off the field, don't they?
Yeah, no, they do. And the Syracuse is showing how they can attack quickly, and this is a big 3rd down. And when you're going against Syracuse, there's a couple guys that you have to understand are huge issues on 3rd down. And the number 1 guy is number 10, Fadil Diggs, transferred in from Texas A&M, was a 2-time captain at A&M. Here he is at the top of the screen. He is a problem on 3rd down.
Syracuse showing some pressure. They'll bring 5. Fignano has a pocket. Now he has a receiver, and Skylar Bell. He's going to be just a little bit shy of that yard to gain. Less than a half a yard as Davian Kerr made the stop. It's going to be 4th and about 2 feet. Got to get to the 30. You can see where it's marked.
Yeah, this is a go for it situation. You bring in some bigger guys, bring in your 2 extra tight ends.
UConn 6 for 12 on 4th down on the season. Fignano's got a fullback alongside him. Play clock winding down. Gets the play off, and Edwards keeps his feet still going. He's going to score. 71 yards for Cam Edwards. They did a whole lot more than just converting. Man, how does he squirt out of there?
The balance, the contact balance, so good. Really one-on-one in the hole with Deuce Chestnut and Cam Edwards. Cam Edwards, the redshirt sophomore out of Norwalk High School in Connecticut, town I used to live in. Representing Connecticut well. Big run, big spark for this UConn offense.
Chris Freeman nails the PAT. Boy, did UConn ever need that. Well, they don't accomplish keeping their defense off the field, but they'll take that as the reason why.
Take it all day. Time of possession be damned. Here we go. Let's get 1 play on 4th down. We don't need just 2 yards. Let's go the distance. Cam Edwards in the end zone.
On top on 4th down. And it is not at this game at 7 apiece inside JMA Wireless.
I mean, that's big. And now if you can get a stop, get the ball back to your offense, that is a complete momentum shifting play.
Here's Yassine Willis. An opportunity for the freshman in the return game. Gets it out to about the 24. Take us back to that score, Mark.
Yeah, they're getting big people, and this is the gap that they're trying to go to. This is Deuce Chestnut. You fit in the gap with the running back, you got to make the tackle. But Cam Edwards does a great job of getting his pads level low and spinning off of this tackle. Right there, Deuce Chestnut doesn't wrap up. Cam Edwards spins off of it, and then it's off to the races. A lot of these big runs can happen when you jam the line of scrimmage. You don't have any safety help. You get through that first level, and then you're off to the races.
McCord to throw, outside to Gill. Turns it back inside, absorbs a hit, but moves the sticks. Monte Jones, Damon Brinson on the tackle, but Darell Gill adds to his total. McCord now under center. Hands it to LeQuint. He's run the ball today inside, Mark. He's had huge holes to run through. Big old number 74, Jacob Bradford leading the way on that play. 2nd down and 5. Again to LeQuint Allen. Gets through to the next level, close to a 1st down. I think he's going to be about a yard shy. Jade McDonald again, the transfer from Troy, making the stop.
And they're running right at this 3-down defense for UConn. They feel like they have the size advantage up front. They're going right at him.
This time it's McCord on the sneak. They're going to mark it just about on the other edge of the line to gain, so that'll be a 1st down.
We've already seen the variations that this offense can present you. Jeff Nixon The offensive coordinator came from the New York Giants, where he was the running backs coach. And you see this mix of pro-style offense with spread offense, RPO. They really give you everything to defend.
McCord to throw. Got a free rusher coming his way, but Gill makes the catch. Tiptoeing on the sideline, and it's good. Cam Chadwick defending, but Gill showing his ball skills on this play.
You know, versus Cal, they ran the exact same play, and the timing was off between Kyle McCord and Darell Gill. They worked on that this week. Coach said, hey, that will be a completion this week, and it was. Good throw and catch by these two.
Willis stopped up at the line of scrimmage. Isn't going anywhere. The freshman, Yassine Willis, out of Newark, New Jersey. You'll see that's a common theme if you're unfamiliar with Syracuse football this year. Their head coach, Fran Brown, out of Camden, recruiting a lot of kids from New Jersey, including Yassine Willis out of St. Joseph Prep.
Defensive coordinator Elijah Robinson, also from Camden, New Jersey. They're close friends from when they were younger, now coaching together.
Pass out of the backfield to LeQuint. Dangerous in the open field. Picks up about 7. Monte Jones again on the stop, just showing you different ways to get number 1 in blue, the football.
And at times this year, they've struggled running up the middle of the field. And so their answer has been get LeQuint Allen the ball on the edges. This play is a staple of this Syracuse offense. Get 3 wide receivers or tight ends out in front blocking, swing the ball out to LeQuint Allen. And why that play works is because Kyle McCord's accuracy with that swing pass allows LeQuint Allen to catch and move forward with the football.
3rd down and 3 for the Cuse. McCord fakes it to Allen. Quickly out to Gill. Can he make a man miss? Yes, he does. That's a 1st down and more out near the 20. And Gill is getting close to 100 yards receiving here in this first quarter.
And he's not even one of the receivers we talked about in the open. I mean, the way Kyle McCord has played this year, he has just elevated the play of everyone around him. And I think the knock on him last year at Ohio State was, oh, you got all these great wide receivers and you're just a game manager. Well, that is not the case here at Syracuse. He has improved the quality of play of all of these guys on the receiving end of the ball.
Allen spins off a 1 tackle. Can't spin away from tackler number 3 and 4. And Jelani Stafford in that nose tackle spot, making the stop. 2nd down and 10. No gain on the play.
It's interesting. We talked to Matt Brock, the defensive coordinator for UConn, and asked him about the big personnel and how last week saw more of multiple tight end use. I don't know if he expected to see as much today. Watch the bottom of the screen here. It's Oronde Gadsden working on a corner again.
Empty backfield. UConn showing a little pressure. McCord goes up to the line, changes the call a little bit. Defense responds. UConn brings forward, getting a little pressure off the edge. There's Gadsden, though. Can't keep his feet, but gets it inside the 5. Nicolette got just enough of him to bring him down, but 19 more yards, and it's 1st and goal.
Tight ends in college football just usually can't run this route. I mean, it's just 5-step slant with timing from the outside, working on a corner. He has such good feet and strength that, I mean, that is open all day. And Fran Brown, it's interesting talking to different coaches. You talk to the offensive coaching staff. He said Fran Brown just comes into our room and says, "This is a matchup we can exploit." That's one of them right there.
Now McCord in motion, wildcat to Allen. Trying to power his way in, won't get there, but he does pick up a couple. Clock winding down here in this first quarter. That could be the final play, and more time for number 1 in blue, LeQuint Allen. Tough runner inside the 5. Instead, McCord will roll the pocket. Looking for Pena. Hits him for the score.
There's just not that much you can do versus that play by Kyle McCord. It's a perfectly thrown football, great run route. Trevor Pena came back to the ball. Man, Look, anytime you get a third area blocker, you got to be alert for the rollout. It's just right here, right? This is where Kyle McCord goes. He rolls to it, a really well-thrown ball towards the pylon, and watch at the very end. Watch Trevor Pena work back to the football. Okay, I'm going to catch it at the 1 yard line, turn upfield. It's just, it's very difficult to stop that when you have the threat of LeQuint Allen on the inside running the football. You got to stack the box and leave your guys out there man to man. I mean, it's looked easy. It just looked really easy for Kyle McCord and this Syracuse offense.
We talked to Coach Nunzio, the quarterbacks coach this week, Mark, and he said he was surprised at how quickly Kyle McCord got that timing down with this receiving group when he came on campus. It was almost immediate.
And it's not just timing, right? We talk about timing all the time, but it's how he throws the footballs to each player. It's always different. It's hey, I'm going to throw to miss the football.
I've never seen that.
I don't know what just happened.
I've seen the ball roll off the tee before and the kicker doesn't kick it, but it stayed on the tee.
That was wild.
Brady Denneberg is the kicker, and I guess he just wasn't happy with the way the ball was placed on the tee and didn't realize it until he got right up to it, or his steps were off.
Yeah, I don't know. That was wild. Look at this. He's like, nah, I'm good.
It's not good. At the last second, he aborted it. Okay.
Like a balk in baseball.
I know, this time he makes the most of his second opportunity, drills it out of the back of the end zone. Moments ago, Coley caught up with Coach Moore.
Coach, Syracuse's explosive plays, those chunk plays, they've been really affecting your defense in the first quarter. How do you try to limit that defensively in the second?
Well, that first drive, we were bad with our eyes on the outside, and now we're just not tackling well in the secondary. We got to find a way to get to the quarterback. I mean, the guy's really special. They got big receivers. It's not easy. You know, that quarterback's a heck of a good player. So we just got to keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and hopefully we can make a play. We get him behind the sticks a little bit. We got to make a play on second down and get him to third and long.
Thanks very much, Coach.
And answer on offense. Fagnano out in the flat, maybe about 3 or 4 yards. Marlo Wax was out there on the tackle to bring down Sheffield. Wax showing his speed laterally. Sheffield's banged up a little bit. You see him coming to the sideline. Offensive coordinator Samus and Coach Moore not afraid to bring a fullback into the game. The football team fans will love that. Cam Edwards, that time on the carry. Only picked up a couple. Justin Barrett and company on the stop, trying to get off the field here on 3rd down and 4. UConn 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far in this contest. Edwards is in the game. They'll split him out to the top of your screen. Fagnano behind Gathings, and he couldn't gather it in. A lot of mustard on that pass, just a little off target.
Yeah, a little bit behind Gathings, and you know, he had him. Ran a slant flat, or little pin route on the outside, and just off target. And offense sputters out again, 3 and out.
Pena to return this Connor Stutz punt. Way over his head. Good kick by Stutz, but it's a touchback. 69 yards on the punt. 14-7 our score in the second. Syracuse on top. Well, the sophomore from Atascocita, Texas, is having himself a pretty good afternoon this afternoon.
Yeah, heck of a day. And Darell Gill, you know, he came in last year as a true freshman, more of a punt return, kick return specialist. And this year, he has really earned his way onto the field. And with all the other high-quality receivers out there with Pena and Hatcher and Meeks and Oronde Gadsden, you got to earn your way into the spot. He has gotten the attention of Kyle McCord, and Kyle McCord has gone to him a lot early in this game, and he has produced 85 yards so far receiving in this game.
McCord looking to throw again. Got pressure on the backside. Can't bring him down. Now he has a receiver open. That's Ross Simmons, rather. Into UConn territory. Justice Ross Simmons getting involved. Yet another receiver. 32 yards downfield.
Yeah, Ross Simmons transferred in from Colorado State. He had 71 receptions, over 1,000 yards receiving there. And you know, Kyle McCord at Ohio State, people knocked him for not playing well under pressure. You see there, just pocket presence, stepping up in the pocket, getting the ball out, good delivery.
That is a hard 3 yards by LeQuint Allen.
Yeah, Chris, that's what you're talking about, right? It's like receiving back out of the backfield. You think, oh, maybe he's not as physical. This dude, he's a receiver out of the backfield because he has Kyle McCord at quarterback. But this guy, you can hand him the football all day. He is a physical runner.
And they'll bring in another one, and you've seen Willis to back him up on this play. Second down, about 8. Fake to Willis. McCord now on the run. And he's just going to have to throw this one out of bounds. That's his first incompletion of the game as Bryce Yates from his defensive end spot applied the pressure up the middle.
Yeah, good pressure. UConn knows we need to get pressure on McCord to throw off some timing. Just a breakdown on the inside, and Yates gets in there. Good job of getting the ball out. And Matt Brock, I mean, all week, he understood the threats. He understood the responsibility that he'd have in this game. Good job. Really the first time McCord was pressured all day. Now they need to get it again on third down.
Empty backfield as well. UConn brings some pressure. McCord gets rid of it and couldn't hook up with Gadsden on the outside. Good coverage by Jordan Wright, the K-State transfer. As Tuifalmina Brown was the one who put the pressure on McCord and made him throw it before he wanted to.
Yeah, and they bring all these guys, and it's man-to-man on the backside. As a receiver, you just got to know the ball's coming out fast. Good job getting to the quarterback by Brown, and unable to adjust on the outside. Very, very good stop by UConn's defense on this drive.
First punt of the day by Jack Stonehouse. TJ Sheffield back to return it with his ankles at his 8-yard line. Calls for the fair catch and doesn't make it, and it takes a Syracuse bounce to about the 5. Outstanding punt by Jack Stonehouse. Hey, 2 more games today on the ACC network. 3:30, Stanford at Cal, the 127th big game. The winner gets the axe. Primetime tonight, Virginia Tech at Duke from Wallace Wade. Both games not only can you see them on the ACC network, but as always, available on the ESPN app. Of course, Cal Stanford, one of the wildest finishes in the history of college football. Back when Kevin Moen scored on the kickoff. I wonder if we'll see something like that again this afternoon. Edwards on the carry. Stretching it out. Syracuse does a nice job stretching it out defensively with Fadil Diggs getting down the line to make the stop.
Nice solid wall built along that defensive front. This offensive line for UConn, that's been one of the areas where they've really excelled at. They've had a good offensive line. They're kind of, a couple guys are banged up in this game, but when they get going on offense, it is through the run game. Run the ball and your outside zone run game, pick the gaps. These running backs have really good vision. Haven't been able to break a big one except for that 4th down and 1.
Fagnano to throw from his own end zone. Wants to go up top and has a receiver in Bell. You can see the safety coming over Chestnut, and that's going to draw a flag. You can see that coming, Mark. Chestnut had him tracked, and he's saying he got him with his shoulder. Timing will be an issue here as well as we check the replay. Looks like Bell's going to be all right. He's back on his feet.
Oh, and watch Bell's eyes. He saw it.
Oh, yeah, he saw him coming, didn't he?
And you know, it'd be interesting to see what they call.
Personal foul, targeting defense number 0. That play is under further review.
Well, we're all going to look at this one, and let's watch it. Let's watch it live. Deuce Chestnut sees it. I mean, you know, from that look right there, I mean, that looks as clean can get. You know, the ball arrives. Deuce Chestnut times it impeccably. Let's see if there's any contact to the head. It looks like shoulder-to-shoulder contact. It'll be interesting to see what the officials say. Chris, do you see anything different than what I'm saying?
Seeing what you're seeing as well. I think oftentimes we've seen a lot of times a hard, violent hit will draw a flag, and then they'll look at it later to get the determination. And I think that's probably the case here. And you saw Deuce pointing to his shoulder right after he made the play, indicating that's where he hit him.
Second down.
Our referee Riley Johnson letting us know no foul. Fran Brown is a player's coach. He describes himself as a locker room coach.
Yes.
And you saw his reaction to Deuce. And Deuce made a heck of a play, preventing Bell from completing that catch. 3rd and 9, dangerous spot here from their own 6-yard line. Bringing pressure here, Mark.
I'm going to drop back. This is a long way to go. Make Fignano pick out the zone.
They bring just 4. Fignano has time. Now he has a receiver, completes it out to the 20. Nice job by Sheffield to get open. Just the 2nd first down of the entire game for UConn. Remember, they scored on a 70-yard run by Cam Edwards. Other than that, the offense has been stagnant.
Well, the defense said, we're going to make you beat us with your arm, and he did. You know, he found that window in the zone. Great delivery. Fignano's got the ability to do that. He's shown that. He showed it versus UAB in the comeback win.
Now Victor Rosa in the backfield. He hands it to Fignano. Fignano rather in the pass, incomplete as it bounced on its way to Bell. Coley, what's going on down in the field?
Well, guys, we just saw UConn receiver Skylar Bell leave the field after that hard collision a couple of plays ago. While he was on the sideline, athletic trainers were administering concussion tests, having Bell follow their fingers with his eyes. And when the tests were complete, everybody involved were sharing a laugh. Clearly, he passed those tests because he is back on the field right now.
Yeah, that's good news. Big time news for UConn to have their leading receiver in a game where they're going to have to throw the football. UConn trying to get their personnel right, and that one looked doomed from the start. So we get a timeout. They're reviewing that last play, so we'll let you know what happens on the backside. Play stands. We move on. 2nd down and 10.
Where you see the intention of finding ways to get Skylar Bell the football. Want to get him the ball in space. He is their best weapon on the offensive side.
Mel Brown. Syracuse has been tough with these runs up the middle. Maybe gets a yard, but Rashard Perry on the tackle. It's a Syracuse defensive front, Mark, that is without a couple of starters from the beginning of the year. Kevin Jobity, Dion Wilson, Tank Wilson, both have been injured.
Yeah, they have. And Marab Watson, the true freshman, number 88, he stepped in well at that D tackle position. And Now he's coming off the field as they're bringing in the rush package on 3rd down and long.
UConn coming into this game 105th in the country in 3rd downs. Just 1 for 4 so far today. Sheffield in motion. Syracuse brings pressure, can't get to Fagnano. He gets rid of it and just overshoots his receiver, Josiah Gathings. He had to let it go. He had no more time to let Gathings come open downfield.
Well, they brought pressure and left man-to-man coverage on the outside. And Gathings was open, just unable to get the football there under heavy pressure, as you mentioned.
Trevor Pena back to receive this punt from Connor Stutz, who unleashed a 69-yarder on his last attempt. UConn needs another one like that here. Another good kick from Stutz. Pena back to his 25. Gets hit hard, stays on his feet, falls forward for another yard or 2 out to the 32. Coming up at 6:30 Eastern, the ACC Huddle crew will have highlights and complete breakdowns of all the afternoon games, including this one, and getting you ready for Virginia Tech and Duke tonight at 8 o'clock. Then after the game, a full post-game wrap-up of the entire day in the ACC on the gridiron, right here on the ACC Network, and as always on the ESPN app. McCord with 12 completions on the day, 4 of 20-plus yards. He has been able to go downfield, and his receivers have done a great job after the catch as well, getting extra yardage. Again under center, LeQuint. Bouncing it outside, still on his feet, running hard through the tackles all the way to the 42. That's a 10-yard run when it looked like it might be a 2-yard run.
And again, getting back into 13 personnel and just something different. Look, this is Dan Villari. He's going to come from that wide receiver position and insert as a lead blocker. I mean, they are doing so much creatively with these tight ends, and they talk about the versatility, especially of Dan Villari. We saw, I mean, last year he played quarterback for the last half of the season. He can play wide out, running back. He does it all.
Again, LeQuint cuts it back inside. Give him about 3. I love that little hezzy from LeQuint Allen on that last play. It's Eric Dickerson-esque. Waiting for the pulling guard, the pulling blocker rather, to get in front of him. See what LeQuint Allen has done on the ground. He's been active as always in the passing game. And Fran Brown talked about his freshman running backs contributing. We've seen Yassine Willis, now Jaden Hart in the game. Freshman out of Michigan City, Indiana. Number 22 in blue. We'll go out in the pattern. McCord looks his way and hits him. Takes a big hit, fumbles the football, but it goes out of bounds. They're going to rule it a catch and a fumble as Cam Chadwick with the big hit forced the ball out, but it'll stay with Syracuse.
Good job driving downhill by Cam Chadwick. Really good tackle.
Looked like perfect, right? Tackle with the shoulder, but the helmet on the football. Perfect. 3rd down and 5 with an empty backfield.
Matt Brock loves dialing up pressure in this situation.
He's got 6 men on the line of scrimmage poised to come at him. Play clock under 5.
They're dropping back out now.
McCord just gets it off. Underneath, Gadsden. Makes the catch, 1st down. $15 yards on the pitch and catch.
Just a really good job of Gadsden finding the open window.
Penalty on the play. Wide open is Pena. Nobody saw him. Flanked out at the bottom of your screen, and he walks into the end zone. Fran Brown is halfway to the hash on the field, letting the officials know that that was legal.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against number 2 of the offense, using the substitution process to try to deceive the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down. It's number 2's first of the half, first of the game.
Wow.
Now that's a first.
I'll tell you what, Bill Belichick would be rolling over. I mean, that is, I mean, I think what happened there was that Trevor Pena came over like he was going to be subbing off the field and just stood on the field. But, I mean, you look at Trevor Pena down here. I mean, he just is talking to Fran Brown. Look, he's talking to his head coach, and no one's covering him. But there's not 12 men on the field. And, I mean, it's, I honestly, I don't, wish we had a rules expert we could call in on that. I don't know.
The official was standing right next to Pena on the side. It's the line judge, and he threw the flag immediately, like he was almost waiting for it to happen, watching it develop. Second touchdown of the day for Syracuse, wiped out by a flag. They're still moving, though. Meeks down to the 35, and that was a first down and 25. So Meeks picks up a big chunk of the yardage back anyways.
And, you know, going back to that play, I mean, just, there is an emphasis in college football on not having those types of plays, right? It just, you don't want to win, you know, have a game decided by a trickeration play where you're catching someone off guard. But, you know, to me, that it seems like an interesting coaching move. Just, hey, we got an opportunity to make a big play, and they got it. And, you know, intentionally deceiving the opponent is kind of what all offensive coordinators try to do. That's literally the entire, what they work on all week, but that might have been too much deception.
Just can't use the substitution process in your deception.
Yeah, and again, you know, if he had just walked on the field and he didn't go and, you know, near the huddle and all that stuff, that's one thing. But I think he was coming off the field, and they threw the flag.
Fran Brown continues to make his case to the head linesman right next to him on the sideline in an unenviable spot. LeQuint can't handle it. Is that a pass? It's going to be ruled. It's going to be ruled a pitch. At least initially, the officials go all the way back to. Now they change their call it an incomplete pass. Looked like they were going to mark it right there as a lateral, but it's a forward pass, incomplete. And that's the right call. Check a look at the replay again. Yeah, clearly forward. LeQuint uncharacteristically probably peeking upfield a little bit before he was able to squeeze it. So after all of that, it's 3rd down and 7 on this drive that continues to chew clock. Syracuse is a great time of possession team, and they've done it again today. Sidearmed out to LeQuint. Falls forward. Just going to be a little shy, I think. They're going to mark him about a foot shy as Malachi McLean made the tackle. LeQuint's calling for a first down, but he didn't get it. Clearly, Syracuse is going to keep the offense on the field. McCord under center. Now he checks this sideline. 4th and about a foot. He'll move forward and easily pick up the first down. I mentioned time of possession, Mark. This team comes into this game 4th in the country in time of possession and 126th in rushing offense. You never see that.
No, never. And the reason is because they're so efficient throwing the football. I mean, Kyle McCord throws very few incompletions, over 62% completion percentage, 64 in fact. And so when they complete these footballs and the clock keeps running, they've been great at it.
Case in point, and he's got receivers that can get it over the middle. How about Jackson Meeks? Knew he was going to take a hit from Ronte Jones and still hung on.
And also, too, not only just the accuracy by Kyle McCord, but the ability to catch the football. I mean, they're not dropping anything out there. These wide receivers have done a great job catching the footballs.
Ronte Jones is banged up a little bit. See him walking off. A couple of players in this secondary for UConn have been banged up on this drive. He's a little frustrated as well. Coach Moore coming out to greet him. A pat on the backside. especially because he knows on this play there's nothing a defender can do, right? If your quarterback is going to put it there and your receiver is going to make a tough catch in that little window,
it's just you gotta go in. You gotta put your body on the receiver.
fresh set of downs for the Cuse. They continue to chew up this clock. Valari in, taking the snap, but he'll have to do it from 5 yards back.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Savion Washington does not look very happy with himself. Neither does Coach Brown. Coach Brown doesn't want an undisciplined penalty derailing this drive. So now it's 1st and 15. McCord back in at quarterback. McCord's going to throw. Going to the end zone for Meeks. Defender all over him, and it's an incomplete pass. No call. Meeks is checking with the official. I think he feels like he could have been held not once but twice on that pattern. Cam Chadwick defending on the play.
A lot of contact downfield. Little double move, and
There's
right there,
one.
that's a pull.
Yeah, no flag though.
I mean, I think the clear grab on the 7 on the back of the jersey and the tug was.
Wry smile. He knew it. He had a touchdown on that play. UConn got away with one now. Can they make the most of it here? Keeping Syracuse out of the end zone. Empty backfield for McCord. Steps into one, trying to get to Pena, and it's dropped. That's the second time today. A UConn player has had both hands on the football and has not been able to bring in the interception. DeMont Brinson this time.
And that one, you know, again, that one was even a little easier than the last one. That one, you know, Kyle McCord airmailed that one, and just you look down Trevor Pena the whole time, thought he had him on the inside seam route. Really good job defensively, but for UConn, I mean, those are two huge game-changing type plays that you leave out there on the field. Now Kyle McCord has work cut out for him on 3rd down and long.
12th play of this drive.
Clock running down. Play clock is getting down to 2, 1.
Yeah, they're going to have to call a timeout. Good awareness by McCord. He saw it. I think the coaching staff did as well. First timeout of the first half for the Orange. Coach Brown wants to put points on the board in this long drive. He leads by 7.
Welcome back to the Dome while Syracuse has the ball 3rd and 15. Earlier in this drive, interesting call out on the field. Trevor Pena noticed coming off the sideline, they called unsportsmanlike conduct. Looking back through the rule book during the break, Rule 3, Section 5, Article 2E of the NCAA rule book states, no team shall use the substitution process or simulate substitutions to deceive the opponent. They explicitly talk about a player running off the field and not being noticed by the opposing team. Just cleaning that up. That was a good call by the officials. You might not agree with it, but that's in the rule book as a no-no.
So now the Orange facing 3rd down and long. McCord steps up. He throws to the end zone. Caught by Gill. Short of the goal line, but it's still another big play. And on 3rd and 15, a conversion. It'll be 1st and goal. Gill coming back to the football, and it was perfectly placed. On the run.
And how about Darell Gill today? I mean, 5 receptions, close to 100 yards receiving. His previous high was 55 yards receiving against Stanford. And I mean, he has been the go-to target for Kyle McCord today. He broke 100 yards, 104 yards now after that reception.
Jade McDonald, starting middle linebacker for UConn, was down on the play, putting pressure on McCord. He's gotten up and back on his feet as he walked off under his own power. First on the run. Look at that throw. Perfect and a great catch.
And you look at what NFL scouts are going to look at with Kyle McCord. I mean, you see the arm strength, you see the ability to read coverages, but he can throw the ball from anywhere, whether it's stepping up in the pocket and just having a presence there or on the move. And the accuracy on the move, that I think is going to be what sets him apart. And you know, we've seen a couple games where You know, the Pitt game, for instance, 5 interceptions, 3 of those run back for touchdowns, but he's bounced back every time he has a slump, and he is on fire today.
This day has been ridiculous as you see his first half numbers now going to the end zone again. Pena makes the catch. Fighting for the end zone is going to be just a little bit shy. Jordan Wright and a host of Huskies bring him down.
And like that throw, I mean, there's three UConn defenders right there. I mean, you have to have the perfect timing.
Now McCord under center. Gonna hand it to LeQuint. Touchdown, Orange. LeQuint Allen, touchdown number 15 on the season. Syracuse extends their lead.
See LeQuint Allen to get the big boys in again. Crosses that line, and whether it's through the air or on the ground, Jeff Nixon and this Syracuse offense have just found ways to score the football. And today it's been Darell Gill Jr. working them downfield, LeQuint Allen, Jackson Meeks. I mean, they're getting everybody involved.
Now review this play. From the looks we had anyways, Mark, it's impossible to see whether Allen does or does not get that football across the line. It was ruled a touchdown on the field. We should have a Fran Brown cam for every game just to see the histrionics. Take another look at it. Can't tell there.
No, and he's laying on the back of his offensive lineman. And you know, he doesn't go down. It's really the stopping of the forward progress.
Field stands, touchdown.
Yeah, there's no way, I don't think, from any angle you'd be able to see anything different than what was ruled on the field, and that was a touchdown. Jackson Kennedy on to try the PAT. No problem. 14 plays, 68 yards. And the third drive of this game of 5+ minutes for Syracuse. They took 6 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock, and they have just kept that UConn defense on the field all afternoon long. Next Wednesday, that's Thanksgiving Eve at 7 o'clock. Settle in. Get ready to gorge yourselves on Thursday with a little bit of women's volleyball on the ACC network. And we got a good one for you. Number 1 Pitt at number 3 Louisville. Helen and Federal Credit Union Arena on campus there at Louisville. So check that out on Wednesday night. The family comes into town on the ACC network. 6 teams in the top 25 in women's volleyball this year. Adding Stanford and SMU, a boon for volleyball, as that is a tough conference, and we got a lot of those matches on Sunday afternoon on the ACC network. 3:17 left to go in this first half. UConn now down 14, and they have had issues moving the football offensively, but if they ever needed a drive, boy, this is the time for it.
Yeah, just nothing going on the ground apart from that 71-yard run. Only 6 yards on the ground and 32 yards for the air. So just need something to go their way here on this drive before half.
Especially given the fact that they will receive the second half kickoff. Brown cuts it back inside. That's a nice move right there, staying on his feet and holding on to the football out to the 33, but we got a flag behind the play. Marlo Wax with the tackle. This may be coming back, though, which is a shame.
Holding, offense number 78, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Forreston Cassidy, the guilty party. That was a heck of a run by Brown.
Well, you see Mel Brown's ability to break tackles. And all these backs are nice, strong runners, but He just throws off a couple dudes, beats that tackle there, and safety unable to get him down, keeps his feet driving.
Ball for naught. UConn moves back 10 yards. Fignano has Darrell Robinson in the backfield with him. Sends him out in motion. Fignano to throw. Bell makes the catch at the 25. Goes down right there on his own. True freshman Davey Kerr out in coverage. UConn has all 3 timeouts, plus the 2-minute timeout. They can mount a little bit of a drive here to save him some time. Didn't look like they were in any kind of a hurry. Fignano to throw. Robinson out of the backfield. To the 30 and beyond, out of bounds, marked at the 33. Kerr again on the stop. That's going to be just a couple of yards shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2. And that'll take us down to the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
Coach Moore and his staff and his offense will talk things over, facing a 3rd and 2 when we come back, trailing by 14. Roy Simmons Jr., the great lacrosse coach here at Syracuse, so we're looking forward to that ceremony at the half. 3rd down, that's a tough run right there to pick up the first down. Just the second 3rd down conversion on the day. Auto Owners Insurance halftime report coming your way. The Huddle crew is in Durham. Right down the first half of this game, looking at SMU and Miami in action. Taylor, Eric, and Eddie on hand for the Auto Owners Insurance halftime report. Fignano to throw. Has time, trying to hit Bell. Nice catch! And he got a foot in bounds. Davey and Kerr, the freshman, had really good coverage, but Skylar Bell makes a heck of a grab.
What a way to locate the football in the air and body control coming down. Huge play by Bell. And Deuce Chestnut, he was flying over there to have another big hit, but good placement of the ball by Fignano, and Bell comes up on the receiving end.
And now UConn is a little bit more deliberate. Bell tips it to himself and makes the catch inside the 20. First one was elegant, like Lynn Swan. That one was a little bit more clumsy, but still a catch.
Look at that, the last stain in that shirt too.
Yep. Get the trainer with the scissors to cut that off. They're going to need him to stay in the game. First red zone trip of the day for UConn. Yep, got to get some work done. No, keeping him in. Clock under a minute. Fignano does a nice job catching that snap. Forced out of the pocket. The timing was completely off on that play. As Hansen, the tight end, was the intended receiver. Tiggs applying the pressure, blowing it up.
That's a few times Fignano's kind of been outside the pocket and thrown at the feet of his wide receiver. Much better when he can stand in there. Good pressure by Syracuse, but this is an important drive for UConn. If they can get points on the board here, and then, as you mentioned, get the ball back after half.
Fignano 4 for 5 for 62 yards on this drive. This time he'll hand it off. Edwards. Not a lot of room to run. Gets it down to maybe the 16 as Marlowe Wax picks up another tackle, and UConn's going to be forced. I was going to say forced to use a timeout, but they aren't.
Timeout, Syracuse. Second of the half. Please reset the game clock to 40 seconds. 40 seconds on the game clock. Thank you.
Syracuse calls the timeout to get things set on defense, on their heels a little bit here as we end this first half. Some other games in conference to keep an eye on the rest of the day. Cal, Stanford, they play Fernax out there. They'll be playing that game in Berkeley. Pitt and Louisville. Virginia Tech and Duke, the nightcap. Two of those games, the one in Berkeley and the one in Durham, will be on the ACC network. Pitt and Louisville's on ESPN2. They'll kick at 4 o'clock. Orange fans here enjoying a balmy afternoon. It was like 45. It wasn't raining. It wasn't snowing. When you come up to Syracuse in November and you get that kind of weather, it's like roll out the red carpet for us. Ninth play of this drive for UConn. And it's 3rd down and 7. Vignano to throw. Back to Bell, who's in the backfield. Makes the catch. And rolls out of bounds at the 5. Deuce was in coverage, but that 12-yard pitch and catch makes it 1st and goal for the Huskies, still with all 3 timeouts on the board.
I mean, they're just going to Skylar Bell on almost every down. Skylar Bell, Cam Edwards have been the 2 guys that have gotten production for this offense, and this kind of goes back to Coley's report at the beginning of the game. Fran Brown said, look, we don't know how to finish. You get up this big. Now UConn's driving down the field, knocking on the door of the end zone.
Fake to Robinson. The pitch to Hansen for the touchdown. Lewis Hansen's 3rd touchdown catch of the year. And Coach Moore said it, we don't utilize the tight end as much as a lot of teams out there in the passing game, but they did on that touchdown catch. 10 plays, 75 yards, and a huge touchdown for the Huskies.
Yep, right here. Bad eyes. You got to have eyes on your tight end. Ball snapped. Loses his tight end. It's an easy touchdown.
That was the true freshman, Davian Kerr, whose practice habits have warranted more time for him at cornerback alongside of Jaden Bellamy's injury. And you can see the coaching going on right here.
Davian Kerr, his first start last week. Had an interception in that first start. Playing in place of the injured Jaden Bellamy. And things happen so fast down near the goal line, especially
UConn number 28 is
when
now
you're in
number
man-to-man
48.
coverage.
It's a jersey change.
You see, Fran Brown, he is going to coach you hard, but he's going to let you know he loves you. And it's one of those mistakes that just gets obvious there out on the field. And you see the emotional reaction by Davian Kerr, the freshman out of Bloomfield, Connecticut. And he has a bright future for this team. They love him, but that's an obvious mistake that Fran Brown can point out, coach from, and can't be made again.
Touchback, and Syracuse has 32 seconds. You kind of think this is why Coach Moore was not calling timeouts on that last drive, because he wanted to score with as little time on the clock as possible, because that dude is coming back into the game.
Yeah, and the dude that's calling it with the headset on and that black hat that says Dart across it, he'll go for it. Fran Brown has no qualms with, hey, let's take a deep shot here and see if we can get an easy one.
The Orange and Fran Brown have 1 timeout still on the board, and they've got McCord. To LeQuint Allen. Can he make something happen? Doesn't make much happen, because it's a nice play by Cam Chadwick, who's done a good job all afternoon long coming up and making tackles after receivers make catches.
Yeah, and really good job bouncing back after giving up that long pass on the very first play of the game to Darell Gill. He's played well, played downhill, has been a solid performer ever since then.
He was a safety all the way through spring, and they converted him into a cornerback. And it's obviously worked out well. He's found a good spot. Now Gadsden. Looks like he's going to pick up a 1st down. Jaden McDonald makes the tackle. McCord has already gone over 300 yards for the 10th time this season here in the first half. He'll look to throw again. Over the middle. That's Gill. Makes the catch. Monte Jones made it a contested catch, but nice job by Gill. What a first half he's had, and Syracuse calls that 3rd and final timeout.
Syracuse. That is their third and final timeout of this half.
I mean, we're watching a young man grow up right in front of our eyes. This true sophomore receiver just, coming into this game, there's no way he thought that this is where the way he was going to be targeted this often, but he continuously is making plays, and what a catch. Contested, taking a hit.
Now 6 catches for 127 yards in this first half for Gill.
And with no timeouts left, Syracuse is going to have to try to work the sidelines. You can get 2 plays if you get up, get out of bounds, but anything caught in the middle of the field will negate a field goal opportunity. Just not enough time to get to the line of scrimmage and spike the football unless it's a very quick pass right over the middle, get down, and then spike the football. But
this is tough, yeah, with 8 seconds.
It's going to be a clock management type deal. They either take a shot to the sideline to set up a little closer field goal or go for it all.
It would be a 58-yard field goal from here, just too far for Kennedy or any of the other 2 kickers. And now Coach Mora sees what Syracuse wants to do and calls a timeout to talk things over defensively. Next Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern on the ACC Network, catch a men's college hoops game in Cameron Indoor when number 12 Duke, led by all-everything freshman Cooper Flagg, hosts Seattle University. Seattle without Elgin Baylor, their most famous basketball alum. Duke with a good win last night against Arizona, so looking good to start the year.
If you're Jim Mora right now defensively, you want to protect the sidelines, but with this college football rule where the clock stops briefly with a first down, you also can't let anything get right behind your linebackers. You see everybody kind of playing a deeper zone. Catch the ball, allow them to catch the ball in front of them.
Quickly out. Catch is made. Yeah, Gadsden made the catch here on the near sideline. So they pick up about 4, and he gets out of bounds. Jaden McDonald forced him to do just that. Now with 5 seconds, are they going to try and get one more, squeeze one more in? That play took 3.
It took 3, and I don't know if they got enough yards to give
it a shot.
They wish they got maybe 5 more yards on that play to get the field goal.
It would be 54 from here, so maybe they want 5 more to even give it a shot. Either that or they just go up top to the end zone. McCord quickly out. Again, Gadsden makes the catch. And I think he's going to get at him. The clock shows 000, but I think he got out with 1 second.
The previous play is being looked at to see if there's any time left on the clock.
I think there's going to be 1 second left. Gadsden again with the catch and Chadwick again with the tackle.
And it was close. I mean, he tried to get the ball out of bounds. Let's watch this here. The tackle. The other thing, too, is if his forward progress is not, if he's not moving forward or sideways going out of bounds, but backwards going out of bounds, that clock would continue to run.
The previous play is under further review.
And you see the field goal team lined up, because if this is a catch and his forward progress was stopped, then once the ball is placed, the clock is going to start running if there's any time left. So if you're in field goal position already and the clock runs, there's 2 seconds left on the clock, you snap the ball. I mean, you could potentially get the field goal off without going out of bounds because of the replay.
That replay right there he's obscured. I think the one before, his left foot might have gone out with 2 seconds left.
Review, when the receiver's foot was out of bounds, there was 2 seconds left on the clock. Game clock operator, let's put 2 seconds back up on the game clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Riley, for confirming what I thought was going to be the case. 2 seconds. It'll be a 52-yard attempt. Syracuse is yet to hit a field goal from 50 and beyond this year. And for Jackson Kennedy, his long is 44 yards. And once again, UConn will call a timeout.
UConn.
Let the redshirt junior Kennedy think about it a little bit.
Second of the half.
Kennedy won the kicking job in what is a continuing battle with Brady Denneberg and Jay Noe. They both kicked off and kicked field goals at certain times throughout the year. But it's Kennedy's job right now. And he'll have an opportunity here to solidify that job with a 52-yard kick. Punter Stonehouse will put the ball down. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is going to be off to the right.
Downfield, finding their tight end in the end zone, making it a one-score game, and now they get the ball back.
They get the ball back here to start this second half. As Mel Brown just watches the kickoff sail over his head. It'll be a touchback. Coley, what's going on down in the field?
Yeah, Chris, well, I had a chance to speak with UConn head coach Jim Mora at half, and to echo a lot of what Mark just said, he said, look, I'm really interested to see how we finish this ball game in this half. Our guys have a lot of fight. They've got a lot of dog in them. I see it in the way that they practice. I see it in the way that they've been executing within this game. One of the things he really wants to see from his defense, however, is to get to quarterback Kyle McCord a little bit better. They've got to get him off his spot, is the word that he used to describe playing McCord in the second half.
And they need Fignano to give him a drive on this opening drive of the second half like he did in their final drive of the first half. And he's on target there. Fignano was 6 of 7 for 79 yards and the touchdown to ultimately end that drive. Before that, the previous 4 drives, he was 4 for 10 for 32 yards. So he really put things together from an accuracy standpoint in leading UConn to that score. Can he do it again here? Can he keep it going in the second half? Fakes it to Edwards. Swing pass. Maybe a gain of 2 yards on the play. That was TJ Sheffield on the catch. And Marlowe Wax shows his speed getting out there to make the tackle. Kevin Grant also involved.
And you see him early in this second half going back to what was working in the first half. Some short passes on the outside. Get the ball in your playmaker's hands. Skylar Belchak's back on the field. Number 1 towards the top of your screen. He has been their playmaking receiver. 5 catches, 73 yards so far in this game.
UConn's converted 3 of their last 4 third down opportunities, facing a 3rd and 5 here. Fignano to throw. Crossing route incomplete. Nice job defensively by Clarence Lewis to knock it away, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Fignano throws it behind his crossing receiver. He has him. Just lead him out in front. Put it out in front. A yard out in front of your receiver. You have a completion.
LeQuint Allen back to receive this punt. Off the foot of Connor Stutz. End over end kick. Allen is going to make the fair catch at his own 30. After the 40-yard kick, we'll get a chance once again to see McCord coming off the first half where he threw for 333 yards and a couple of scores.
Those are crazy numbers. And you look at the efficiency. I mean, 83% completion in the first half. I mean, and you talk about time of possession and the reason why they're so successful. I mean, it's every throw. And every throw, whether contested or not, these wide receivers know they're getting the football, and they have secured the catch really, really well.
He now owns the single-season passing yards record and is tied with Ryan Nassib for the single-season touchdown passes record here in Syracuse history. Meeks on the receiving end picks up about 5.
And that play is a great example of just how they use the passing game. There's a reason why they lead the country in pass attempts per game, because rather than hand the ball off, get a 5-yard run, we got cushion on the outside. Let's throw a quick stop route, and we know our receivers are going to catch it.
Let's give to Allen. Lowers his shoulder, picks up 3. Fake to Allen. McCord to throw. Nice catch by Gill. Just can't elude the defender. Jordan Wright makes another outstanding play.
And I'll tell you what, if Jordan Wright doesn't tackle the receiver, it is another touchdown pass for Kyle McCord. That is a phenomenal open field tackle by the fifth-year senior out of Memphis, Tennessee. These cornerbacks have been tested in this game, and that was a heck of a response by Jordan Wright.
And because Gill had to come back for the ball, they're going to fake this one, though, and pick up the first down easily, and a whole lot more to midfield. Oronde Gadsden gets the first down. Flag down on the field, though, right at the line of scrimmage on the far side.
Sideline warning, UConn. First warning of the half.
So it's just a warning against UConn, and the first down conversion is good. Gadsden, the up man, the direct snap, easily picking up the first down.
Yeah, something's up, right? You got Darell Gill there on the blocking on the line, and Oronde Gadsden in the backfield for punt. You know, when you're on the punt return team, you got to be aware of personnel. Gadsden snuck in there, and gutsy call by Fran Brown.
And it's the longest run of the day for Syracuse at 12 yards. Allen trying to change that on this carry. Gets banged at the line of scrimmage. Look at that, tough yards.
Good.
And he got banged again. Malik Dixon-Williams. And he missed the first half of this game because of a targeting call in the last game. So he's making up for lost time.
Yeah, fresh legs in there coming downhill. And I mean, talk about pads clicking. There about 3 times I heard from up here in the booth. Just click, click, click.
McCord to throw. Just flings it out to LeQuint Allen. Give him 5. Here's that last hit. First, there's one big one. Allen steps aside, but then he was just set up that time for Malik Dixon-Williams.
The power on contact, and man, if you sit out the first half of a game because of a penalty last week, I mean, you're coming in flying around.
Allen just moving the pile for a couple of yards, but now it's 4th down.
Yeah, and they're going to go for this. That play call signal is a 4-down territory. I mean, when you have a field goal kicker that you don't feel that confident with, from obviously this is too far for him, and then how much you're going to gain punting, and Kyle McCord back at quarterback. Let him go back there and sling it.
2 for 2 on 4th down today, 4 for 4 last week, so a little bit of success on this down. This is 4th down and about 5. UConn wants to bring a little bit of pressure up the middle. McCord, Gadsden, can he get to the mark? No, he can't. UConn's defense holds. Dropping Gadsden about 2 yards shy. And the UConn offense will come back out on the field.
Donovan Branch, number 58, does a phenomenal job of sticking with Oronde Gadsden. That's a mismatch usually in favor of Syracuse. Getting Oronde Gadsden on a linebacker. Linebacker follows him. Great tackle, bringing him up just short of the first down. UConn ball when we come back.
UConn continuing the theme of this game, turning Syracuse over on downs, just hanging around. Down 1 score here in the 3rd. Vignano to throw, pressure from Diggs. He's got him.
Well, here's Fidel Diggs on the outside, just a quick move, working on the tight end. And anytime you get a tight end on number 10, you're going to have issues. Rolling right into that. First sack of the game for Fidel Diggs, but he has been a terror off the edge all season for this Syracuse defense.
Surprisingly, the first TFL of the entire game for Syracuse. It's come at a great time. Now UConn behind the sticks to start this drive. Figliano to throw. Too high for his intended receiver, Gaddings.
That's a couple times where Gaddings has been missed when he was open. You see kind of frustration in his strut.
Especially because I think he feels like he had room to run it.
Yeah.
Put that ball right on his number. 3rd and long. Crowd onto their feet. Tipped and almost intercepted. Devin Grant thought he had a beat on it. You can see he was like, I'm going to pick that off and run it back.
If Deuce Chestnut doesn't get a hand on that football, that was an interception. And just, Figliano just laid over the middle, dangerous throw.
Connor Stutz to punt this one away, and LeQuint Allen on the receiving end. High kick. Allen's going to have to call for a fair catch, and he makes it at his own 35. We got a special guest coming into the booth on the other side on Dick McPherson Day here in Syracuse.
In the day, always nattily attired.
And we're going to have you keep you here in the booth as Syracuse continues to.
False start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Put UConn away, but they can't do it because UConn is playing very tough. Now, Dick McPherson meant a lot to people here at Syracuse and also to the community, but he meant an awful lot to you personally, didn't he?
He did. I met him when he arrived on campus in fall of 1980. I was a freshman. He invited me to go to work for him, and I worked for him for 3.5 years. And he became like a father figure to me, one of the greatest men I've ever known in my life. And not only did we have the Ring of Honor ceremony here today, but they also dedicated the food pantry in the chapel here on campus today in his name as well. He's such a great person.
Meeks on the receiving end. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think it's also a great example. Even listening to you talk to him, coaches have such a responsibility, and they have this platform to mentor these players. But it's not just the players that are on the field; it's all the students at the school. You have an opportunity to pour into these young men and women, and just listening to you talk about Coach, it just meant more to you maybe than even some of the players that played for him.
Really, other than my dad, he was the most important person that I met in my life as a mentor and father figure. Just a great man, and he was kind to everybody.
LeQuint Allen trying to get that first down. It'll be 3rd down and 3, and everybody thinks about that 87 team. What a special team that was with Don McPherson up for the Heisman Trophy that year. You got a Sugar Bowl tie with Auburn, and it's the game on the field, but it's also, and we heard it from the cheering here with this crowd, I think everybody here knows what he meant to the entire community, and that was a big part of what he was about here.
Yeah, well, the record was excellent, especially given what he inherited when he arrived here. And, of course, part of his induction into the College Football Hall of Fame was what he did at UMass as well.
Meeks with the catch. He's got a lot of room to run. Inside of UConn territory, down to the 42 for a first down.
But as Matt Park said in that video that played at halftime for the crowd here, Coach Mack really was the heartbeat of the community.
Little change up here from Syracuse, and Jeff Nixon putting Meeks in the backfield. We talked about wanting to attack those flats, getting their playmakers out in space. Great job picking up the first down.
First down from McCord and company from the 43. They'll give it to LeQuint. Dances his way into the second level, picks up about 7 on first down. You mentioned the food pantry. Now the Coach Mack food pantry here on
celebrate
campus.
And memorialize what to me is the most important part of Coach's legacy. He was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that was this morning. The chancellor was there, Coach Mack's family. Food insecurity is a serious problem on a lot of college campuses around the country, and obviously we're trying to help fight that in the name of Coach Mack. It's a great way to memorialize the person part of him.
UConn brings pressure. McCord sees it, though, gets it to Gill, stays in bounds. Inside the 10, drops at the 5. What a day for Gill. It continues 32 more yards. He's going to have 160 yards receiving here, and we're still in the third quarter.
And Kyle McCord, he just continues to throw the ball. I mean, with accuracy, with purpose to his wide receivers. The coaches talk about Darell Gill and Kyle McCord during this week of practice, spent time together working on their timing together.
The previous play is under further review to see if the runner stepped out of bounds running down the sideline.
And how cool is it for a player when you put in extra work during the week to have it pay off on Saturdays? Let's see where he steps out, or if he does step out.
Maybe.
That left foot right there looks close.
Not that one. Then he brings it back in. So if it's that one left foot, that's the one they're looking at. And I can't tell definitively on that replay whether it was out of bounds or not. Maybe this one will tell us. I'm not thinking it will. Can't tell there. There's nothing definitive in those replays that tell me it was out of bounds. This is the one.
And Sean, we'd go to the pylon cam, but we don't have that here.
They need Matt Austin. I would
we had
agree
no
with
Matt
you.
Austin, right.
And I guess it's okay for me to have a little bit of a fan part here today, but I don't see anything conclusive that would indicate he stepped. No, that's pretty
the
close.
one. It's pretty close, but I don't know if I can definitively say that was white or whether there was green from that angle.
And I want to thank you guys for letting me come along, because this now counts as my appearance on ESPN Family of Networks this weekend.
There you go. Check. You did not take the week off. You're here.
I knew this must have been a special day for you to miss calling a game in November.
From there, I think he actually might be out. Yeah, you know, this has been on the docket here since the summer, and our bosses, particularly Amanda Gifford, I really am grateful. I think he's out of bounds there.
Yep, that was
like this Zapruder, John Kettering in the truck, and this great crew. Legendary producer.
No, it stands, though. Well, the replay official apparently didn't agree in keeping it as it was called on the field. So it'll be first and goal from the 5. And LeQuint Allen in the game. We'll see if Syracuse wants to go to a little power running game. Looks like they got a fullback in. McCord under center, the power eye to Allen. Doesn't get much, maybe a yard. Jaden McDonald coming up from his middle linebacker spot to make the tackle. You don't see the power eye very often in today's college football.
No, true goal line personnel. Get the big boys in there. Really good job by Jaden McDonald coming downhill and striking LeQuint Allen with physicality at the point of attack.
Now Villari comes in. Often used as the Wildcat quarterback. Of course, he was recruited as a quarterback at a high school to Michigan before transferring here to Syracuse. They're going to line him up next to Max Ming as a double tight end on the right side. McCord's going to roll the pocket, wants to go to LeQuint, but he's covered to the back of the end zone. It's just too high for his intended receiver. That was Gadsden.
Bronte Jones plays that dog position for UConn. Great eyes catching LeQuint Allen out of the backfield. Took away McCord's first option. And this second half, this UConn defense, they have bent, but they have not broken. And looking for a big third down stop. Try to keep this a one-score game.
And now going the complete opposite direction offensively, Mark, spreading him out a little bit with LeQuint in the backfield. McCord under all kinds of pressure, goes to the corner of the end zone, but just overthrows Meeks. And that was a great defensive stand by UConn with their heels, their backs against the wall, and their heels right on their own end zone. 3 straight plays. No yardage leads to a field goal attempt from Jackson Kennedy.
I mean, just a great job by UConn's defense forcing this field goal after that long play to Gill, standing up tough inside the 10-yard line.
Good job by Stonehouse getting that hold down, and Kennedy buries it. 24-14. Sean, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Really enjoyed the visit, and thank you for paying tribute to Coach Mack. It's a special day for all of us. We loved him very much.
Enjoy the rest of the day, my man. 24-14 is our score in the third. As Dick McPherson's name now adorning the Ring of Fame here in Syracuse. Syracuse now up 10, and Brady Denneberg kick it off. Mel Brown standing by with his heels on his own goal line, but Denneberg will kick this out of the back of the end zone. Touchback for UConn. Coley Harvey's got a report for us down on the field.
Hey guys, Syracuse receiver Trevor Pena is out for the game. He's currently on the bench in a white jumpsuit, not in his full uniform. Also on the last drive for Syracuse's offense, we did not see starting center John Ray Reed. He was banged up on the previous drive. I noticed him come off the field and get his left hand evaluated by athletic trainers. He went into the locker room, then he came into the medical tent, and when he emerged, he had a new wrap around that left hand and wrist. His backup, Josh Aloha, actually even false started on his first play last drive, so we'll see how that develops.
An auspicious beginning there. This is a great beginning for UConn on this drive. Mel Brown, look at the speed, just gets tripped up by Barron at the 40-yard line. He was that shoestring away from going to the end zone, 36 yards as it is.
I mean, great job. It's an outside zone. This is their bread and butter on offense, and you get everyone moving over to that offensive right, and good job on the vision cutting upfield. I mean, just as a hustle by Justin Barron, the linebacker, to even clip those heels.
Vignano to throw. Just a little bit too much on it, and Skylar Bell can't bring it in. He had him.
And you see Skylar Bell after the play just communicating with his quarterback. He'll take a little bit off of it, slow down the pass just a little bit, and again, Vignano, he has not been the starter all year. It's been Nick Evers' team, and Vignano came in last week. He has had sporadic playing time throughout the season, but still working on that timing with his wide receivers.
Here's one behind his receiver again. This time it was Sheffield on the far side. Timing on that play as far as your conversation, or bad timing between Sheffield and Vignano. It's the offensive coordinator, Gordon Sanders.
It is loud in the dome.
Pressure from the Orange. Vignano gets rid of it. Has a receiver down there, broken up. That was a jump ball. Sheffield just couldn't bring it in. Covered by Barry Buxton, among others, for the Orange. Bring up fourth down.
Just go back and think about that effort play by Justin Barron with the shoestring tackle on Mel Brown. If he did not get that, that would have been a touchdown. And now, after 3 incomplete passes, Syracuse looks to get the ball back.
Connor Stutz will punt it away. You see LeQuint Allen, he's returned the last 2 punts. This will be his third in the absence of Pena. Stutz just wants to put this one high in the air, and a beautiful play by this punt coverage team for UConn. Kill it inside the 5. 2 more games today on the ACC Network, 3:30 Eastern. Stanford and Cal, the 127th playing of the big game, and Virginia Tech at Duke from Wallace Wade wraps things up at 8 o'clock Eastern. Both games not only available on the ACC Network, but you can see them on the ESPN app.
Got Miami in a close one right now with Wake, and SMU up on Virginia.
Here it's a 10-point advantage for Syracuse on a day when Kyle McCord has already gone over 400 yards passing. UConn has just been a pest and hanging in there. Ball tipped in the air dangerously and falls incomplete, trying to get it to LeQuint Allen.
It's so difficult to start when you're standing in your own end zone. I mean, phenomenal punt by UConn, and
This has been a game early in this game where I think that the Syracuse coaching staff, they saw their explosive nature early, and they have not played a field position game. Gone for on 4th down a bunch where could have potentially punted. And UConn has been able to stay right in it, and they're now forcing 3rd down again inside of Syracuse's own 10-yard line, down by 10 points. I mean, this is a field position game, and Syracuse needs to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost, or they're going to give a short field to UConn.
Gadsden on the receiving end on that one. It's his 8th catch of the day, but brings up 3rd down and 5. And Gadsden in motion. Back outside. McCord with time to Meeks. Defended beautifully. Broken up by Malcolm Bell. Now Syracuse will have to punt from their own end zone. First 3 and out today, and just the 2nd punt of the entire afternoon for Jack Stonehouse.
And it leaves the gate open. And right now, this second half has been an impressive showing by this UConn defense. And what we saw, the explosive nature in the first half, we just have not seen in the second half by Syracuse.
Whistle stops play before we even had the snap. It's going to be a delay of game, going to go against Syracuse.
Delay of game, offense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal line. 4th down.
Just completely out of sync here. Fran Brown told us on our call earlier this week he had to learn a lot about special teams this year as the head coach. And he did learn a lot about them. But that's, again, we talk about his honesty and his character. Yeah. He said as a head coach, he's been a position coach his whole life. He had to learn about special teams. So we could coach it, coach guys like Stenhouse. Sheffield's going to be able to return this one from his 43. Still on his feet down to the 35. Outstanding field position for the Huskies. Mark, you were mentioning some games around the league. Georgia Tech game on Thursday night was amazing. Look at Boston College in the 4th quarter over North Carolina. SMU, no issue with Virginia. What's going on down there in Miami?
It's a close one. I mean, in Miami, they like to make things interesting.
They really do. That was one where you would have thought 20 points, maybe at the half for Miami. Wake Forest defense coming to play down in South Florida. SMU playing like they want to wrap up that trip to Charlotte for the ACC championship. Miami not so much. How about Edwards here? Tough running himself, getting about 7 yards on 1st down.
This offensive line looks like it's starting to wear down the defensive front for Syracuse. What was a 0 or 1 yard gain in the first half is now turning into 3-4, and that was 7 yards. And this Syracuse defense, they have been exposed versus the run at times this year, most notably a couple weeks ago versus Boston College. Boston College ran for 313 yards in that game.
Now Fagnano to throw. This time he's right on target to Gathings. And that'll be a 1st down. Clock winding inside of 2 minutes in this 3rd quarter. Again, having a hard time with the snap, and a great play defensively. How about Devin Grant beating the block and dropping the receiver for a 1 yard loss?
Yeah, great play by Devin Grant. He was the safety and kind of moved to that nickel position. You see him playing outside in that kind of corner spot now as Justin Barron moved down to linebacker. Everything that Fran Brown has done in terms of personnel shifting has been to make this team faster on defense.
Give to Edwards. He doesn't get much, maybe a yard. Dennis Jacquez on the tackle. So a drive that started with so much promise for UConn now facing a 3rd down and 10. UConn's 0 for 3 on 3rd downs here in the 3rd quarter. This is a long one. Fagnano to Bell, incomplete. Lewis was there in coverage. And it'll be 4th down with 10 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. The field goal kicking unit will come on for UConn.
This is a field position type game. We talked about it. Because Syracuse is backed up into their own end zone with the penalty and the 3 and out, UConn got great field position, only gained about 10, 15 yards on this drive, but set up to kick a nice, easy field goal here.
Freeman from 42 nails it. And there you see Coach Mora vehemently pleading his case that his receiver was interfered with on that last pass attempt.
Ooh. He kind of stepped forward. Tell you what, that head linesman, he was getting an earful from Fran Brown earlier in the game. He switched sidelines, and now he's getting an earful from Coach Mora.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a case there.
He does. He does. It's a well-thrown back shoulder ball, and
Clarence Lewis in
number
coverage.
28 is now number 48. Jersey change.
A lot of contact, and Morris still pleading his case. Josiah Ford is that head linesman. He's been catching it in the earful from both sides of the sideline.
I'll tell you what, to his credit though, he's actually he's addressing the coaches. He's trying to explain something. I mean, a lot of these officials that have to stand on the sideline, they're just back to the coach, standing like statues.
You might be saying, "Can I be the U next time, so I don't have to be the H? I can be in the middle of the field, away from the coaches."
You get run over by everybody.
Willis. Good hard return out to the 27. Some pads are popping out there. That's going to wrap up the 3rd quarter. I appreciate it, Coley, coach. He wants to score on this drive. LeQuint Allen muscling forward for about 2. What do you make of the Syracuse offense here in this 2nd half? Slow down.
I think they've been conservative. I think they've been conservative with their play call. We haven't seen the deep shots down the sidelines. I mean, they've established mismatches, but they haven't gone back to them. I want to see Oronde Gadsden lined up out, to the single receiver side, let him work on a cornerback. It's just not a lot of deep shots downfield, and they've been trying to establish the run, but UConn defensively has done a good job up the middle. So kind of gotten away from what they had success with in the first half. And now another 3rd down. And on 3rd downs, UConn has come after him and been able to get some pressure on Kyle McCord. See if they do it again here.
Has got Gadsden split wide to the bottom of it.
And there's no safeties. No safeties in the middle of the field. Let's see if they call a deep shot.
McCord instead hits Gadsden wide open inside the UConn territory down to the 48.
Yeah,
Malcolm Bell was in coverage. You mentioned the corner can't stay with it.
No, just you got to put him at that X receiver spot. You get man-to-man. I mean, this is just, you got a cornerback on Malcolm Bell, 6'1", 185, trying to cover a 6'5", 240-pound lightning bolt at tight end. They got to play the mismatch game. They have superior players on the outside. You got to take advantage of it.
UConn brings pressure, but they can't get home. McCord going deep. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Gill, but Jordan Wright was in coverage, an outstanding coverage downfield.
And I think some of these offensive players are getting tired. Watch Gadsden. Watch how he runs this route. I mean, he just kind of walks off the football. that's not going to get it done. And by the time he gets out of his break, Kyle McCord has already thrown the football. And those are the types of things that if you're tired, you got to sub out. If you're not tired, you got to run that route effectively because the middle of that field is wide open.
Play clock down to 1. McCord just gets it off. Scanning the field, has time. Now he has a receiver open. That's Hatcher, head over heels. Right at the first down yard marker. Jordan Wright brought him down, but that may be enough. Going to mark him maybe just a little bit shy. Maybe a foot shy, and Syracuse wants to go quickly. McCord pushes the pile. That's first down.
It's a Syracuse first down.
Great processing by this offense and understanding got a foot to go. We know what play we're going to run, get to the line of scrimmage and get set before the defense.
McCord at 446 yards passing. That's the second highest in school history for a single game. Play action. He wants to go to Meeks. Has his man beat. The ball's underthrown, though, and Meeks can't come back for it. Got a flag, though. And Malcolm Bell trying to come back in coverage because it was underthrown. Just ran right over Meeks.
Number 14, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That right there is the beauty of the back shoulder fade. When you throw it on the back shoulder, it's so difficult for a defender to come back and get his momentum from contacting the receiver. Good call by the officials. And again, Syracuse is starting to take those shots downfield that were working in the first quarter.
McCord rolling the pocket. Gadsden makes the catch, lowers his shoulder, gets hit by Bell, picks up a couple. Mark it out, maybe a yard. Gadsden will come to the sideline.
Yeah, and he's toast. I mean, that dude's winded. He's been out there a lot, and good. Get him some rest, get some other capable guys in. Dan Villari in for him now. We've seen what he's capable of.
Gadsden in the middle of his 9th career 100-yard receiving game. Fake to Allen. There's Gill. Down to the 5. Darell Gill came into this game with 17 catches on the year, and that is his 9th on the day. And he's making all different kinds of catches in traffic, over the top.
And a lot of teams will run that to the short side of the field because it's a difficult throw for the quarterback to get it precisely to his receiver on the far side. But you see Kyle McCord's arm strength and accuracy, able to let that develop. And it's all John J. Reed, the center, hobble off the field again.
Yep. Gill. Right to the goal line. No signal yet. He'll be just shy. They are really working to get 82 the ball in a lot of different ways.
Well, Jim Moore, he said, what's one thing you want everyone to know about your team? He said that we will not quit. I mean, this has been the epitome of that so far.
Big scrum at the goal line. The officials are going to have to come in. No signal just yet. Got to unpile all kinds of bodies. Touchdown. Well, first item on Fran Brown's wish list, check mark. Score on that drive, and McCord finishes it off on his own. What a day he's having.
Look at this effort. Look at the strain on his face. Look at that shot. UConn's not relenting, not quitting, getting hits on the ball carrier, but Kyle McCord wills his way into that end zone.
Kennedy splits the upright, the lead back to 14 for the Orange. We do have a flag on the play. So there's a little pushing and shoving after the fact. As we await word from our referee, Riley Johnson. We'll see Coach Brown just firing up this quarterback.
Personal foul, illegal contact against the snapper, number 97 on the defense. The extra point is good. That 15-yard penalty will be carried over to the kickoff. Timeout.
Not ideal for Coach Moore and UConn. As we take one other look at it, Jelani Stafford covering up the center. And still, UConn within 2 scores with just over 10 minutes left to play in this game. Their offense, though, UConn's offense has been almost non-existent here in this second half. 43 yards on 15 plays and just 2 first downs. Got to change that up in a hurry here in the Dome. Coming up at 6:30 Eastern, the ACC Huddle Crew going to have highlights and complete breakdowns of this game and all the afternoon games here in the ACC. Plus, they'll look forward to Virginia Tech at Duke. That's the 8 o'clock game tonight. Then after that game, a full wrap-up of the entire day. It's all right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Look at that good-looking crew there on the lower left, all hanging out in Durham. We've got a good 10 minutes left to go here inside JMA Wireless. UConn's got to get something going here offensively. They'll try Brown on the right side. Squirts forward for about 3. Fadil Diggs on the tackle. It's a huge drive for UConn because they're down 2 scores, but also, as we've discussed, Syracuse runs clock when they have the football.
Yeah, they do. And they don't necessarily run the ball, they just run the clock with the completions and the substitution of personnel. It feels fast, but they hold on to the ball for a long time.
Vignano to throw. On target to Edwards. Forced out of bounds near the yard marker to gain. And he's going to be right on it. They'll move the sticks. Kerr again on the tackle. Coach Moore talks about it all week, how his team has a lot of fight in them. They don't give up. They've had a lot of comeback wins, including being down 17 a couple of times this year. And they've come back to win one of those games, and the other one went right down to the wire. Vignano to throw. Ball tipped. And Edwards couldn't readjust after Barron got a piece of it.
And being down, you even look at the other ACC opponents they've faced, Duke, Wake Forest, both of those games, they were down big in the games and just hung in there and fought back and kind of doing what they're doing, so far in this game, just waiting for a play to break, whether, another 4th and 1, you get a 71-yard touchdown out of it, or a big play down the sideline with a missed tackle.
Vignano to throw again. Syracuse bringing 4. He's got time over the middle. That's a tough pass and catch. And all kinds of traffic. The ball on the ground, though. Now we'll get a whistle. Skylar Bell made the catch in all kinds of traffic. Barron made the tackle, picked up the loose ball, but they're going to rule that Skylar Bell was down.
And Devin Grant was the one who almost ripped
Really
that ball
on the field,
out.
the runner was down before the ball was loose.
Makes the catch. Football moves, still in his possession. Close, but I think he was down.
Yeah, but I'm also wondering if that's a completion or an incomplete pass. Is it? Yeah, no, he has it. He has a little bit of a step, and that comes out late. I think good call by the official. Bring up 3rd down.
Edwards in the backfield with Vignano. Syracuse brings some pressure. Edwards fighting for that 1st down and gets it. Barron again on the tackle. Barron, a former safety, moved to linebacker this year, Mark. He's been all over the field, as you would expect.
Yeah, he has, and You know, he's just got such a great body for that linebacker position. He's 6'4", 230 pounds at linebacker.
The only thing he needs is a thicker neck. That's what Matt Brown always talked about.
Tell you what,
guys with necks and traps. Pressure off the edge from Wax. Fagnano gets rid of it, and Edwards makes the catch at the midfield. Coley, what's going on?
At halftime, I was talking with UConn head coach Jim Mora, and at the same time, Justin Barron, the Syracuse linebacker, was standing nearby warming up, and Mora walked over and he said, "Hey man, I love your game, I love what you do, but can you please take the rest of this game off?" Clearly Barron did not listen to him.
No, he didn't. I thought you were going to say, "Can you please work on your neck?" I mean, he would.
Right, I'm standing alongside one of the greatest advocates of working your neck and your traps. Mark Herzig, it's got to be done. Fagnano low. Receiver went down to get it. That's going to be just shy as Sheffield makes the catch. Helmet came off, so he's got to come off for a play. Going to be about a half a yard shy of where they need to get to, third down. Clock ticking inside of 7 minutes in this one. Syracuse leads by 14. UConn looking to convert to keep this drive alive. Robinson met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. And the spot is anything but friendly. That's a full almost 2 yards away from picking up the first down. Juice Chestnut missed a tackle on that long 71-yard touchdown run in the first half, making up for it here.
Well, he's got to do it again because 4 down territory. Empty backfield.
That 71-yard run was on 4th down back in the first half.
We got man coverage on the outside. Let's see if Cuse comes.
Fagnano to throw. Going up top to Bell. Overshoots him. Good coverage by Buxton. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, UConn took their shot, but couldn't make it stick. Syracuse still up 31-17. What do you think of that decision? .165 yards passing, couple of touchdowns. There's one of them right there. Look at this pass on the run, Mark.
I mean, just accurate with the football, spreading around a bunch of different receivers, getting them involved. Use his legs in short yardage. And he has just been phenomenal all game. You see 465 yards, 17 yards away from breaking the all-time single-game record at Syracuse held by Ryan Nassib back September 4th, 2012.
It's our game track brought to you by Hardee's. Like you said, we're still keeping track of what McCord is doing with 6:10 left to go. Wanting to run some clock, keep UConn at bay. LeQuint Allen picks up maybe a yard. Donald again on the stop. See what McCord has done as far as single season records go in Syracuse history, and got those quarterbacks that played in the spread offense. Yep. Babers the past few years, and McCord is just blowing those numbers away right now. Still has Miami next week, and then their bowl game. They hold on here, they'll pick up their 8th win of the season. Fran Brown's first year. Very impressive. Gadsden. Monte Jones in coverage. Add another 5 yards onto that, and UConn's going to start using timeouts. Got to get the football back. We'll take a timeout with a 5:20 left to go in this one. Syracuse facing a 3rd and 4 when we come back. into the fourth, but they're pulling away.
Yeah, they are. And those are the two teams that really control their destiny going to the ACC championship game. Clemson's right there in the mix, so they finished their ACC schedule.
Clemson will be watching the game here next week as McCord goes down. Jaden McDonald drops him for the sack on third down. That's a huge play for UConn. Is just to finish up my thought, you got Miami coming in here next week. Clemson needs a loss in that game for Miami, so with these two quarterbacks, that game's going to be must-see.
I mean, it's going to be huge. Cam Ward has just been all world this year.
And always ridiculous in the fourth quarter.
I know.
Always.
You feel like he just buckles his chin strap and like goes to work when crunch time comes.
And he and McCord could put on a show here next week. Flag down before we even get started. Delay of game again.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
Well, Fran Brown told us this week he learned a lot about special teams. You may want to take a graduate level course this week, because that's the second time on special teams you've had a delay of game.
It was funny listening to him talk about like coaching the kickers specifically. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know anything about that. Like, I mean, you know, how do I coach my punter to punt better? Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never dropped the ball. And said he called Brandon McManus to help him with how to coach the field goal kickers.
That's great. Good kick here from Stonehouse. You don't teach that. That's just beautiful natural ability and
good coverage.
Beautiful coverage. That's great special teams play right there for Syracuse. 54-yard punt, 2 yards on the return. And now this UConn team that really struggled to put anything together offensively has got a long way to go. Yeah, Stonehouse getting a lot of love, and deservedly so, on the sideline.
Fran Brown's like, yep, I taught him that.
Everything he knows. Swing the leg through, all that stuff.
It was funny listening to him talk about, you know, kickoff returns and who's back there. He's like, man, I don't got time for all that. Let's just call fair catches, get at the 25.
Fignano hits his tight end. That's Hansen. Clarence Lewis driving him out of bounds. The UConn team, you think about them offensively today, Mark. They had the long 71-yard run from Edwards on fourth down in the first half. Then they had the beautiful drive right at the end of the first half to get into the end zone. Other than that, it's been bupkis.
Yeah, really, you know, we had a couple of nice catches by Skylar Bell. And, yeah, a couple nice runs, almost a big touchdown run.
There's Bell right there, nice catch.
And Mel Brown had that one breakaway where he ran through the middle of the line of scrimmage, and Justin Barron had the shoestring tackle. That could have been another big one, but it's been, you know, getting, I'm not saying it's lucky because they're earning it, but you kind of hope to get one of those.
Fignano going up top. Well covered, and fans here wanted an offensive interference on that one. Didn't get it. The freshman Damian Kerr in coverage, and it was outstanding coverage. Gathers had to actually prevent him from picking it off.
The young freshman, you know, he has an argument for getting held. I mean, he tries to go up for the football, and Gathers is draped all over him.
Fignano. That's Sheffield, makes the catch, stretches forward. Right at the marker. And they're going to give him the first. Wax in coverage. Continuing to show his versatility at that linebacker spot, going back and covering a seasoned slot receiver. Fignano over the middle. That's that tight end again. Hansen lowers his shoulder inside of Syracuse territory. Buxton on the tackle, but UConn now on the move.
Yeah, and before that play, you saw Marlo Wax, you saw the cornerback all look at the sideline like, well, what play are we running? We don't have a play. UConn coming to the line of scrimmage is confusing the Syracuse defense.
Husky's not done yet. Fignano to throw. He's going up top. Gathings makes the catch, but he's out of bounds. Once again, Kerr, though, in really good coverage.
Yeah, I mean, good coverage, but he did get his beat. You know, that's like the third time we've seen a UConn receiver get behind the secondary And the ball placement gives no shot to the wide receiver, but you lead him out there in the end zone, that's an opportunity.
There you see Kerr, the true freshman from Bloomfield, Connecticut. Trial by fire, no question about it. Vignano to throw, now he rolls the pocket. That's a good throw right there. Hits Bell on the run. That might be the best throw Vignano's made all game long.
Especially on the run. And he's been accurate when his wide receivers have not been moving, when they've been coming back on stop routes, but otherwise not as much.
Into coverage. Hits his man Sheffield at the 15. Clock continues to tick down. UConn with 2 timeouts. They'll get that 2-minute timeout coming up in 20 seconds. Back shoulder just couldn't quite connect with Shamar Porter. Again, Kerr, man, they are picking on Kerr over there, aren't they?
They are working on Davian Kerr, and this is a guy who started this season. First 6 weeks, he was on the scout team. And then, he played so well on scout team against the starting offense that some of the offensive coaches went to the defensive room and said, look, you got to play this guy. He's getting his fair share of targets today, and he's held up well.
3rd and 2. Obviously, we're in 4th down territory here in the red zone. Vignano. The give, Edwards. First down. This will carry us down to the 2-minute timeout. As we have said all day long, UConn just hangs around. The score here on this drive, and they're still in business. We'll be back to see if they're going to get it done. Syracuse is done in terms of plays, yards, ball control, but it all comes down to this drive right here. UConn's got to score first if they want a chance. Back shoulder out of bounds for the running back, Edwards. To overstate the obvious, again, we are in 4 down territory. UConn's got to score here, and then with 2 timeouts on the board, contemplate what their next move is, but first things first, they got to get this thing in the end zone. 12th play of this drive. Vignano rolls the pocket. Bell out of bounds at the 6. Devin Grant in coverage forces him out. UConn can pick up a first down at the 1-yard line. Edwards in the backfield with Vignano. To throw, pressure on the edge. Gets it to Edwards. Can he make a man miss? He makes one miss, but beautiful job by Clarence Lewis to help out and drop Edwards. Timeout, UConn.
The ball floats up there a little bit too long.
UConn, that is the 2nd charge timeout
Good move
of this half.
by Edwards, but great hustle play by Clarence Lewis. Transferring from Notre Dame before the season. He's been their top cornerback all year. That was a big tackle, bringing up 4th down.
Saw Coach Moore walk all the way down to where the ball is placed, trying to get a gauge for how far he has to go to pick up that first down. Looks like it's going to be a full 2 yards. Here you see him. The other side of that stanchion. There's having a word with the officials. Wants to let him know he's going to call a timeout right away if they get that first down.
Yep.
And not the touchdown. It's so tough in this area, right, Mark? Inside the 5, there's just no space to operate.
Yeah, you see the bottom of your screen. They've been picking on Davian Kerr all day.
Whistles blow, flags down. This could be big.
before the snap, false start. Offense number 73, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Former Syracuse Orange, Wes Ho. You have a flinch?
Yep.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah. Little flinch from 73, and well, if nothing else, they get a little bit more room to operate.
Yeah, a little more room. Got to get it down the end zone. They've had some openings across the middle that Fignano has not seen. Showing pressure.
They bring it off the edge. Fignano going to the corner. Flags down. Rory Buxton was in coverage against Josiah Gathings. And the underthrown pass may come to benefit UConn on this play.
Pass interference, defense number 29. Since the foul occurred in the end zone, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic 1st down.
Inside fade. You get the safety on the wide receiver.
Fignano, ball snapped, was low, and he just has to throw this one away. Marlo Wax with all kinds of pressure on that one.
They're from the sideline. Some coaching of the center. Oh, the level of anxiety.
Right.
It's just is palpable for both these coaches.
2nd down and goal. Fignano looking to the end zone. Has a man. Sheffield touchdown.
This is the play they were trying to run on the 4th down. Motion over TJ Sheffield. The defender gets caught in traffic. You see him pointing, wanting to switch off. And the outside corner just locks on. You see Clarence Lewis jumps inside as Davion Kerr is pointing to have him go out. Miscommunication defensively, and man, we got a 7-point game.
The 2 long drives for UConn today have been really impressive. That was a 15-play, 89-yard drive when they had to have it.
And they've both been 2-minute drives, and the end of the first half and then end of the game. And you know, it's a credit to UConn. I mean, you see Elijah Robinson, he mixed up the pressure, he mixed up the zone coverage, he went man to man, he threw everything at UConn, but the offensive line for UConn did a great job of allowing Fignano to stand up and deliver footballs in the pocket. Good job by the receivers and the running backs, understanding situations, getting out of bounds, fighting for those extra yards. And as we look at the possibility of an onside kick here.
Saw Coach Mora, how fired up he was getting into that special teams huddle.
I mean, could it be, right? Like another week coming back with your backup quarterback.
Freeman's going to kick it off. Slow roller. It's got to go 10 yards. Ball's up for grabs. The initial call is for Syracuse football. And it will be Syracuse ball. I like the attempt. That one went just about 10 yards before a Syracuse player tried to recover it. And then it was, who knows what could happen at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, it's a slow roller. You just punch it in there, knowing that the receiving team can't block early. Have to kind of wait for it.
And it looks like Amari Hatcher is the man down for Syracuse, receiver who obviously plays on the hands team. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, Hatcher was trying to get in there, landed awkwardly, kind of twisting on that right knee.
Ooh,
Like Yeah.
Oh, no.
His legs went both different directions. Looks like Darell Gill might have been the one to recover it. Of course, 82's having the game of his life. As they continue to look at Hatcher, hope he's doing all right. They are looking at that right knee. Oronde Gadsden is there on one knee next to him. Fran Brown is there too.
And with all the rule changes in college football and the NFL to try to protect players, this does feel like one of those plays, the onside kick, that it just is, you know, ripe for injuries with people on the ground trying to stand up. And Mari Hatcher, that right leg of his. See Fran Brown, frustration, just the idea of losing a player on a slow roller onside kick, it hurts.
Yeah, that is a tough break for Hatcher. Redshirt junior out of Woodbridge, Virginia. Having to be helped off. Once again, another ovation as he nears the sideline. UConn has one timeout on the board. It'll be Syracuse football at the UConn 45, and this is just going to be take a knee time here for Syracuse, as UConn can only stop at one time. Victory formation. McCord takes that first knee. UConn takes that last time out.
Timeout. UConn, third and final timeout of the half.
Final time UConn can stop the clock today at the 124 mark. It's coming up around the rest of the league. Stanford and Cal renew their rivalry coming up next out in Berkeley. Pitt and Louisville is going to be on ESPN2. They'll kick at 4 o'clock. And then our night game, the primetime matchup on the ACC network, Virginia Tech at Duke. Hokies still need one win to become bowl eligible. That's a big game for them.
Yeah, it sure is. And Louisville wants to bounce back after almost an inexplicable loss last week for Stanford.
Wild game out there last week against Stanford.
Just, I mean, you're like, how did
tip your cap to Stanford.
100%.
We've seen them a couple of times this year. At times they're undermanned in these games, or outmanned, I should say, but kind of like this UConn team, they fight right to the very end.
Had a great band.
Always famous band. Great mascot, tree running around out there. This right here is when dangerous time, isn't it, Mark? Get a little pushing and shoving. Just team's a little frustrated. UConn's a little frustrated. Battled right down to the final minute of this game, but it's going to be Syracuse coming away with another win and improving to 8-3 on the year, with Miami coming to town next week. Opportunity for the Hurricanes to play their way into the ACC championship game, keep their playoff hopes alive, and Syracuse with a chance in front of their hometown crowd to derail all of those hopes.
That's a fun position to be in if you're Syracuse. You got the juggernauts coming. You got a chance. What a win by Fran Brown and Kyle McCord in the first half of this football game with over 300 yards passing. Really set the tone for this day. And Jim Moore's team, he told us they are not going to quit. They did not quit this entire day. Fought back hard and made it a close one at the end.
Final seconds ticking away. Syracuse with 8 regular season wins for just the second time in the last 23 seasons.